really didn't want to have to do this, but hello again, hatchlings. As much as it pains me to say this, because of previous videos, I do, in fact, now have a Patreon. Now, before everybody freaks out and is like, oh, but you hate Patreon, why do you have a Patreon? Let me explain. If you don't want to sit through my ramblings, or you want to only get into a specific part of the video, I will have timestamps down in the description so that you can skip through if you'd like. First, I'd like to introduce who I am. I'm Candidragoness, an artist, author, and animator. I'm currently working on the first book of my new adult fiction series known as The Draconia Chronicles. I also own an Etsy shop, a website, and hopefully soon an Amazon store where I like to sell the arts and crafts and dragon products that I like to create. My small business is known as Dracon Studios and is the financial backbone of this channel. This also helps to give me a little extra money on the side for these kinds of video projects on this channel. Now, that's all great and all, but this is where Patreon comes in. For those of you that don't know, Patreon is a platform for creators to offer services or rewards in exchange for monthly subscriptions from their fans. These subscriptions directly support the said creator and gives you, the supporter, some benefits for your generosity. Now, this is the part that I didn't really want to have to talk about, but as I've stated before, Dracon Studios is the backbone holding this channel and everything I do on the creative side together. However, it's never really been enough to cover all of my expenses, especially now with these new projects I'm taking on. I used to work a part-time job to combat these extra expenses. Now, as some of you may know from a couple of my previous videos, while I was working, I ended up overworking and overstressing myself. I was also in college at the time and lost a family member who was very close to me. I was then forced to move out due to financial struggles, and though I was supposed to be doing school full-time, I ended up having to add a job on top of it back in 2022. Because of all this added work and extra stress, I developed a wealth of health issues, and some of them I am still struggling with today because of the stress, poor diet, and dirty environment. This caused a trip to the emergency room at one point where I was told by the doctor that if I didn't take a break to reduce my workload, I could be doing permanent organ damage. And I was given that news this year in 2023. Since then, I have steadily been improving, but it was recommended that I don't work a normal 9 to 5 again for a while, especially a stressful one. I was also forced to drop my education and lost my scholarships because of these health issues. Now that you know all of this brings me back to Patreon. Any support helps, even if you only pay for 1 month and then leave. I don't make enough off the business alone to support what I do anymore, nor do I have enough to pay my bills if my partner gets sick or loses his job. I'm hoping at the very least my Patreon will be able to cover the expenses for making these videos, and then I can at least continue to keep doing what I am doing. I hold a few different subscriptions to things like asset libraries, subscriptions for video editing software, audio libraries, etc. They may or may not be a lot on their own, but together they add up to quite a bit over time. The Patreon will hopefully allow me to keep these subscriptions so I can continue to create these videos and also get into animation. The money will also be going to Dracon Studios. Anything that isn't covered by the sales that I make will be covered by my Patreon supporters. Finally, the money will be going also to the books, allowing me to pay for promotional content, hiring editors if I need, or even paying voice actors for future projects. Any leftover money will be invested into new projects, such as upgrading my equipment and putting food on the table. I have a number of tiers for every budget. I suggest you read through them to see exactly what you will be getting as rewards for each tier. I plan to do things like giveaways for the new dragon products that I make, commission raffles, early access, behind-the-scenes content, and exclusive access to the new Draconia RPG Discord server, where me and a few other GMs host roleplays based off my book's world. You can get access to all of this and so much more with the different tiers that I offer. I also plan to come up with more fun rewards down the road for my Patreon supporters. If you have the expendable cash and these sound like fun rewards to you, or you just want to support me in what I do, the best way to do so right now is donating to my Patreon. You will not only be allowing me to continue to pursue my dreams and making these videos, but you will also be directly supporting the progress of the book series. Thank you so much if you've listened this far. I hope to see you guys on my Patreon. Take care.